Gavin Newsom is running for president in 2028, despite the fact that he doesn't believe there's going to be a 2028 election. And also Kamala Harris is running for president in 2028. Like, this shit just never fucking ends, bro. Let me make something abundantly clear. If Kamala Harris runs for president in 2028, I will not vote for her. Kamala Harris is not a good politician. She ran a horrendous campaign, and seemingly she's going to pull a Biden. She's going to be selfish as fuck, and we're going to have Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris fighting against each other while Donald Trump is just going, keep it up, I'm going to win. And it makes no fucking sense. I don't understand why. Like, first of all, let me get something abundantly clear. Gavin Newsom is not the man for our movement. Gavin Newsom loves Silicon Valley. He loves the billionaires. He has no problem with, just reallocating as much wealth as possible to the top 1%. He's like, Kyle Kalinske said it best, he's a sleazy car salesman. And right now, he sees the opportunity, which is to shit all over Trump, which is to, go on the offensive, because every other elected Democrat is going on the defense. And he's owning the moment. And to his credit, he is owning the moment. Nobody else has the fucking balls to attack Trump. But I fear that when we move into the quote-unquote 2028 election, which I do not believe we will even have, there is going to be this Democrat infighting that will ultimately just bolster Trump's chances of winning. The same way that, we had people out there who were voting for Jill Stein. You understand that? Every single person who voted for Jill Stein might as well have voted for Donald Trump. And I understand. Kamala Harris was very pro-genocide, or she wasn't pro-genocide. She was not down with defunding Israel. She was like, no, we're going to keep on funding it. We're going to keep on funding the genocide, right? So I understand when people drew a line in the sand that said, I cannot vote for Kamala Harris in good conscience. The problem is, it's a double-edged sword. You don't want to vote for Kamala Harris, then you're going to have to deal with whoever fucking wins, and you don't get to bitch and moan because you didn't vote against it, right? But regardless, Gavin Newsom, he's been going on a publicity stunt, and he essentially said that he's running for president without actually admitting it, and I want to show you.
I'm looking forward to who presents themselves in 2028 and who meets that moment. And that's the question for the American people.
Is it fair to say after the 2026 midterms, you're going to give it serious thought?
Yeah, I'd be lying otherwise. I'd just be lying, and I can't do that.
So that's an admission, like, yeah, after the 2026 midterms, I absolutely plan on running for president. Sorry the camera keeps on shaking. I have to stabilize this thing somehow. And also, sorry my hair looks like this. I just came out of the shower. But you heard it here, folks. Gavin Newsom is admitting, I'm going to run for president. But what I find confusing is I can also pull up this clip of Gavin Newsom.
I fear that we will not have an election in 2028. I really mean that in the core of my soul, unless we wake up to the code red, what's happening in this country, and we wake up soberly to how serious this moment is.
So, here's the thing. That Gavin Newsom, that's the one that if you want to run for president, run on that. Run saying, well, I'm afraid that this guy's an authoritarian dictator and he's never going to step down. But on top of that, I need you, if you want to run as a Democrat, to adopt leftist policies. Why haven't you been advocating for Zoran? Why haven't you been campaigning with Zoran? And the same goes to Kamala Harris. Don't even get me fucking started on Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris has been doing nothing. Radio silence, going on a fucking book tour. 107 days, I'm going on a book tour. And on that same fucking book tour, she's telling us that she's not even done. Get a look at this. Get a look at this.
Stories of your baby nieces, Amara and Leela. When are they going to see a woman in charge in the White House?
In their lifetime, for sure.
Could it be you? Possibly. Have you made a decision yet?
No, I have not.
But you say in your book, I'm not done.
That is correct. I am not done. I have lived my entire career a life of service, and it's in my bones. And there are many ways to serve. I've not decided yet what I will do in the future beyond what I am doing right now.
If she wasn't going to run for president, she would have said, I don't plan on running for president again, but I do plan on staying in politics, okay? And guys, we can do so much better than Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom. We just can. You're seeing it in New York City. You're seeing Zohran Mamdani. He's going to win this election. And if he doesn't win the election, it was fucking rigged. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's got an 88% chance of winning on the poly market, and I think a 87% chance of winning on Kalshi. But, dude, I am afraid that this plays perfectly into Trump's hand. When it comes to the 2028 election, if we even have one, you need the Trump of the left. You don't, and I mean of the left, not of the Democrat Party. You need somebody to go up there and say, day one of my presidency, I'm going to sign an executive order that cuts all ties with the nation of Israel. We will also be arresting every single ICE officer, and we will be trying them at a tribunal. Every single one of them that committed any act of criminality will be thrown in prison. We are also going to be throwing Stephen Miller, Pam Bondi, RFK Jr. All of these people need to go to prison. Elon Musk needs to go to prison. These people have done so much damage to our nation that it is going to take us decades to get back to where we were in 2016. That's the reality, okay? I don't want some fucking Democrat that's going to say, no, we're going to put a little bit of regulation on the AI, but not too much. I don't want Donald Trump light. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the other side of the bird. I want a fucking socialist, a real populist who understands that the people may not understand that they're socialist, but they are. Everyone's a fucking socialist. They're just too afraid to admit it.
But you've been very clear that it's a possibility you might run again to become president. And in my experience interviewing politicians, when someone says, I'm not done, it means they are thinking seriously about running. But when you look at the bookies' odds, they put you as an outsider, even behind Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I would so much quicker vote for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson than Kamala fucking Harris.
I mean, is that underestimating you?
I think there are all kinds of polls that will tell you a variety of things. I've never listened to polls. If I
Yeah, that's why you fucking lost, you dumb broad.
listened to polls, I would have not run for my first office or my
Oh, goddamn, start listening to polls, dude.
second office. And I certainly wouldn't be sitting here in this interview.
Oh, God. Listen, guys, I understand a lot of you are rad libs. And, like, the idea of Kamala Harris being the first black woman president, yeah, it's a great thought. She's not a leftist. She's, like, barely even a liberal. She's more like a moderate Republican. One of her policies was to build the wall. One of her policies was to build the wall. She ain't getting my fucking vote. Let's finish off this clip from Gavin Newsom from earlier.
2026 midterms, you're going to give it serious thought.
Yeah, I'd be lying otherwise. I'd just be lying, and I can't do that.
Governor, you have long said that if you ever run for the White House, you need a compelling why, a reason. Are you moving closer to figuring out your own why and your own decision?
Yeah, Nietzsche said, if you have a compelling why, you can endure any how. And so I don't think, I think the biggest challenge for anyone who runs for any office is people see right through you if you don't have that why.
I'm not going to lie, Gavin, I see right through you. I think you're a corporatist. I think you have no problem working with Silicon Valley billionaires. I really don't. And that's the problem. I see you. I recognize your fight against Trump. I see how willing you are to call the motherfucker a fat idiot. I see that you won't waste a good crisis. And that's good leadership, is not wasting a good crisis. But at the same time, bro, I don't think any of your policies are leftist policies. I don't even know any of your policies.
You're doing it for the wrong.
I will tell you this. He did a lot of good work in California. You know, he gave people who got doxxed the right to sue the people who doxxed them. You know, there's a lot of good shit that he's done in California.
Reasons. And so
he also, you know, Prop 50. That's a big one. Texas is gerrymandering their fucking districts in order to give Republicans more seats. And this guy at least had the audacity to say, well, if you're going to gerrymander, I'm going to gerrymander right back. I don't want to do it, but you're fucking forcing my hand. That's a good move.
Look, well, that.
Oh, and one other thing I'll say. He lowered the price of insulin in California. California now makes its own insulin. It's $11 a pop. That should be a federal fucking law. It should be $11 a pop for everybody. I don't understand why we're making people pay like $500-600 for a life-saving medication.
Fate will determine that.
You certainly seem to like being on the ground in South Carolina, I have to say that. Seeing you up close, you were having a good time.
I happen to, and thank God, I'm in the right business. I love people. I actually love people.
Oh, Jesus. Now, here's the thing. I've got another clip of Gavin Newsom here that I want to show you. Just so you understand, I am a lot like this interviewer. I will not vote for anybody who receives a single dollar from AIPAC. And Gavin Newsom clearly receives money from AIPAC, and he gets incredibly uncomfortable with this situation to the point where you can see him physically get uncomfortable. Listen to this shit.
Interesting. You're like the first to bring up AIPAC in years, which is interesting.
I will not vote for a candidate that takes $1 from AIPAC.
It's interesting.
Same.
It's interesting. I haven't thought about AIPAC.
Really, Gavin? It's so interesting. You know, I haven't even thought about AIPAC. I mean, AIPAC, what's AIPAC? I don't even know what AIPAC is. Shut the fuck up, dude.
And it's interesting. You're like the first to bring up AIPAC in years.
What? Brother, what? AIPAC is like the most known shit right now that like a lot of people didn't know what AIPAC was until like this year. People are going fucking crazy.
Which is interesting.
Why?
Why did I say that? Not relevant to my day-to-day life.
Dude, he's getting uncomfortable. You could see it in his shoulders and his hands.
Okay.
Which is just interesting.
Listen.
It's interesting you say that. JPAC perhaps more, but AIPAC less and less.
Okay. Fair enough.
Which is just interesting.
Yeah, it's just interesting. It's just interesting. I have no opinions on AIPAC. It's just interesting. I don't hate and I don't love AIPAC. It's just interesting. Like, dude, there's not a sniper in the room. You can, I mean, can you? Can you give us your real opinion, Gavin? That's the thing. It's another layer of broken trust, bro. Why can't you give us your opinion on AIPAC?
Interesting about it.
That it's just interesting as you bring up AIPAC that it hasn't been part of. I'm just reflecting quite openly and honestly. Hasn't been part of the day-to-day.
Yeah. The only reason why I ask is because with that, what I'm talking about is lobbying in and of itself.
I hate that fucking noise. Well, so yeah, no, I mean, what that guy's talking about is lobbying in and of itself. You know, I firmly believe we need to overturn Citizens United. I think super PAC should be illegal. I think that there should be a $500 maximum donation to any political person running for office, and I don't think that corporations should be allowed to donate to politicians. I just don't. Because, you know, I feel like this is the average understanding of the situation, is that when you allow billions and billions of dollars to be donated to political campaigns from giant organizations and super PACs, you're asking for a quid pro quo to be done. You know, if a pharmaceutical company gives $10 million to a political opponent, or to a political person, I'm not going to trust their take on Big Pharma. I'm just not. Because I know that they're being paid, and they're probably going to shut their mouth and not going to say the things that'll trample on the profit margins of Big Pharma. And I'm not the only one who has this fucking belief. Okay, now I want to close this off with two things. One, I want to show you the way that Donald Trump is talking about his election. This is what he posted on Truth Social. He goes, after winning 3 elections by a lot. See, dude, even to this day, he cannot concede the 2020 election. Don't let anyone ever fool you into believing that Donald Trump has conceded the 2020 election. He hasn't. After winning 3 elections by a lot, I am now getting the best polling numbers that I've ever received. Lie. He's got the worst polling numbers he's ever received. His approval rating is in the low 30s. People see how strong the economy is, the trillions of dollars of investment pouring into our country, the record-setting strong border after years of millions of criminals pouring in, totally unvetted and unchecked, ending 8 wars in 8 months, no men playing in women's sports, no transgender for everyone, rapidly falling energy prices, and much more. Despite all of this, the radical left losers are taking fake ads not showing real polls, but rather saying that I'm polling at low levels. These are the people that I've been beating for years and am continuing to do so, but by even bigger margins. These ads should not be allowed to run because they are fake. That part's the important part. Donald Trump just said that you shouldn't be allowed to put up polling numbers that make me look bad. That's what he just said. He just said any poll that makes me look bad, it should be illegal to cover it. So again, I want to ask every MAGA voter to get on your hands and knees and eat my shitty asshole, because this motherfucker doesn't care about the First Amendment. And then the last thing I want to show you is just some crazy shit, dude, to show you how deeply unserious of a nation we are. Fucking J.D. Vance talking about Hassan Piker and the shock collar gate. You know, like, let me just get this off my chest quickly. I don't believe Hassan used a shock collar. I just don't believe it. I've seen the same videos you've seen. The guy raised his dog on stream. You can watch that dog grow day by day, okay? I don't think he's stupid enough to shock his dog when his entire career relies on live streaming. I don't buy it. I seen the video. I don't think he shocked the fucking thing. But just look at what we've become. Watch this, dude.
I mean,
Reminder, the government is shut down. They're cutting SNAP benefits for millions of Americans. They're getting rid of Medicaid and Medicare, and we're going to war in Venezuela. And this is what J.D. Vance is talking about.
kind of obsessively trained him. Like you could see this. Like, he sits on command. He stays on command. He has this command place, which is basically if I snap my finger and point, he will run to that place and lay down.
You don't have to zap him. Like
No.
Hassan.
Not like Hassan Piker. No.
Wasn't that disgusting?
No electrocution of dogs here.
How disgusting is that? What does that tell you about a person?
Well, I think it tells you that they're not, that they're bad people.
Yes.
If you can actually cause suffering to an innocent animal.
Yo, mind you, by the way, there's like it's not like these guys, it's not like Hassan has been charged with animal cruelty. It's not like this is fact, bro. I thought in the United States of America, you are innocent until proven guilty. And here's the thing, guys. If he did electrocute his dog on a live stream, he would have been charged.
You're probably the kind of person who doesn't worry about suffering in people as well.
Yeah.
And that's
I love that, bro. Meanwhile, Hassan has been going buck wild for fucking for at least 3 years about the Palestinians being genocided. If you don't care about the dogs, you clearly don't care about people. It's one of the most vocal proponents for the horrible treatment of the Palestinians. Is one of the few people out there who has been screaming from the hilltop since day one, back when it was not a good look, back when people were like, if you insult Israel in any way, you hate Jews. You know, I mean, this is insane.
That's been my experience. If you mistreat dogs, that's almost 100% sign that you're going to be a really terrible person.
How about the fact that Donald Trump hates dogs? Donald Trump has talked about how much he hates dogs, that they're slobbering and they're gross. He fucking killed Baghdadi, whatever his name is, and goes, he died like a dog. Who compares that? Who does that, bro?
So it's one of the ways, you know.
He's also the only president who's never had a dog. It's the first president to not have a dog in the Oval Office.
We really sort of test people as
Yes.
if Atlas responds well to them, if they like Atlas, we know they're good people. But you can tell if somebody's really mean to animals, you know, it's like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing.
Yeah.
Like every serial killer ever has actually been really bad to animals. That's sort of how they start.
Bro, is the vice president of the United States going on a rant comparing a Twitch streamer to Jeffrey Dahmer? That's what I just watched. That's what you just watched. Great. Love that for us. Anyway, I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that we've got, like, the reason why I showed you that is because J.D. Vance is probably going to run for president in 2028 if Trump doesn't, if there's an election. But we're going to have J.D. Vance, the most unserious baby-faced motherfucker. We're going to have Kamala Harris, just a terrible politician and a moderate Republican who parades as a liberal. We're going to have Gavin Newsom, just like a fucking suit and tie wearing, looks like he was made in a laboratory to be the president. Fucking no problem with Silicon Valley, just a pro-billionaire douchebag who's, you know, right now he's hopping on the wave of shitting all over Trump because he recognizes that nobody else is doing it. Oh, I'm so fucking tired, bro. I'm so desperate for real leftist momentum. And the thing is, fucking Zoran can't even run for president because he wasn't born here. Like, where's the American-born Zoran who's willing to run for president? Is it me? Oh, no, it's me. Oh, shit. I'm not old enough to run in 2028, but I'll be back. 2032? I'll be back. All right, guys. I know I'm not live, but fuck you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing and it helps me immensely. Oh, one last thing. The video I made earlier today about the war in Venezuela and like CIA type shit. Barry Weiss wanted to copyright strike me, so I had to trim out all of the 60-minute segments. So sorry if that video looks a little bit weird. Probably sounds a little bit weird. Fuck you. Again, one last favor. Click that video over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers.